so I don't even know what to call this. Like, news reporter RBT? Like, we'll stick with that. News reporter RBT back in the flesh for some, do I even call this huge news? Like, I mean, it's EA Sports, so like, when it comes to franchise mode, I guess nothing is huge news.
Eat corn and get RBT to 1 million subscribers by Christmas. Eat your corn. Love your corn. But you need to get RBT to 1 million subscribers by Christmas.
But some pretty big stuff I do want to go over today, what you guys can expect for franchise mode. Yes, Madden 21 franchise mode is finally getting its first big update, I guess we can actually say, in over a year and a half now, because we really haven't seen an update in the mode since Madden 20 launched, and it's Madden 21 in November, but they did promise us some stuff post-launch. They were going to update. I was very disappointed when I did hear from some people at EA that it was going to be mid-November before we got these updates, and finally it's about to be mid-November, and they could come as early as next week. And I want to show you guys what to expect in this huge, do you even call it huge update for Madden 21? But it's still exciting that we're finally getting some bit of an update. And there's some stuff I do want to kind of trash because like it's just embarrassing, but we'll get to it in a minute. Hopefully you guys do enjoy today's Madden 21 news anchor video, and if you do, make sure to smash a huge thumbs up, and guys, also make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new, because if and only if we do hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, we're going to do a massive next-gen console giveaway to my subscribers and subscribers only. 3 next-gen consoles being given away to my subscribers, a value of like $3,000 or $2,000, but that's if and only if we do hit that milli mark, so make sure to take that millisecond that it does take to click that subscription button if you haven't. With that said, my dudes, something that is kind of small, it's already in the game that you guys may or may not have seen, I do want to talk about really quick. Like, if you're for the offline rosters, I don't know, I haven't seen it in like franchise mode yet. I'm so confused. But if you go into the simple offline roster creation and you want to go edit a player, something we've been asking for years and years and years, and it might seem very small, but at the same time, like, this is EA Sports, so anything new we get for franchise mode or for anything other than Ultimate Team is a good thing. So if you go to any player, let's just go ahead and edit Derrick Henry, and you go over to the equipment tab. There you have it. For the first time in like, how long has it been? Has it ever been a thing where you could edit mouthpieces? Yes, mouthpieces and now can be edited in the game. Like, we've seen a few times where like players had mouthpieces already equipped like on their body, and like you couldn't edit it like random players did, but now you can actually edit it to where players can have mouthpieces and not. I went to a franchise mode and I couldn't find it there, and the one thing, I don't know if it's glitched or not, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong here, but when you go to the mouth guard mouthpiece, it's like just nothing's there. Like, the players like doesn't have a mouthpiece, so maybe it's something that shows up in the game but not when you're editing the player. But at least you can give players mouthpieces now, which is funky. Like, it's crazy in the first place because this is a $1 million company, billion-dollar company at that, and they didn't have mouthpieces in the game till now. But I don't want to be negative, but at least they added this in finally. But I do want to, like, you save this. I went to a franchise mode and it wasn't there. So, like, I wonder if it's not in franchise mode yet. So I don't know why it would be in offline rosters and not in the franchise mode, which you imported those rosters. Let me test it out really quick. Let me see if I can import it and see if that Derrick Henry has that mouthpiece. Oh, the moment of truth. The suspense is real. Is the mouthpiece going to be there? We imported that roster. Like, maybe you got to edit it before you get into the franchise mode. Like, he doesn't have the mouthpiece here. If you go into the edit player tab here, does he have the mouthpiece? He does. Okay, so I guess you have to edit the mouthpiece offline and then save that roster, then import it into a franchise, because if you go into the equipment tab, like, the mouthpiece is not here anywhere. Unless I'm freaking blind, I don't see where it says mouthpiece. But at least you can edit it offline and then bring it into a franchise mode. I'm sure they'll hopefully fix this eventually, but that's the first small little minute detail that they have fixed after like 20 years of asking. Now into the big updates. So first thing to note is that this is the first of 3 planned franchise mode updates for Madden 21. Now, I don't want to just sit here and nitpick, but it is very annoying that this is the first thing we've been waiting on for so long, and it's so, I mean, it's still some new stuff added and some new updates, but the fact it took from August from them to announce that they're going to be doing updates since we wanted it so bad, and it took all the way to like to mid-November to implement these, And it's just, like, how did this take 3 months? Like, how? But anyways, at least there's still some stuff to come, but, like, why does some of the, like, it just sucks that, like, we're gonna have to probably wait till, like, freaking, I don't know, March to get updates when it's, like, already gonna, hopefully, we're gonna be waiting on Madden 22 stuff. So, I'm still happy that they're updating stuff and show that they want to update franchise mode, but it still just seems like too little for what we've been asking for. But I don't want to nitpick. Hopefully this will be coming next week, and the first thing that we see is X Factor / Superstar ability customization. This highly requested feature by the community allows commissioners to assign an X Factor to any player via the Edit Player feature. Once a player has met the criteria to unlock an X Factor ability, commissioners will be able to edit their player's Superstar abilities and Superstar X Factor ability by selecting from those available within his position group. Users will have control over this functionality in both offline and online franchises, so that's something we've been asking for since they implemented the entire X Factor and Superstar X Factor ability system. Like, the fact that you couldn't actually edit the player's X Factor abilities, like, that just seemed kind of stupid. And I hope, like, offline, when you're managing your own roster and, like, wanting to create your own roster, you can edit it there, because it's always been there, but, like, grayed out. Like, why? It's annoying, but hopefully that'll be fixed. But at least in franchise mode, you can do it. There was always sort of a workaround where you could, like, retire your coach or owner franchise and then choose an existing player to use instead as, like, a player career, and then edit the X Factors from there. Then once, like, that was done, retire, then click a coach or owner again, and then that player would have the X Factor you wanted. But at least now we'll finally be able to edit a player's X Factor to what we actually want them to have and their abilities as well. So I feel like that should have always been the case. So hopefully some fun experiments that will come from that as well. Like Tom Brady with freaking, like, escape artists and stuff. So update number 2 is player card career stats interface. A top community request for several years now, the team is revamping the statistics on the player card to include more context in season stats like week, opponent, and outcome, while also providing what team the player was on for every year of their career. Like, this is cool and all. Like, obviously we want this, but just, like, why did this take so long? And why was this ever taken out the game? Like, I mean, I'm happy it's coming back, but it's still, just why was it ever taken out? But at least it's coming back. Now, update number 3, dev trait regression tuning. The team is doing tuning work to player development traits in franchise mode to ensure a proper balance of Superstar and X Factor players when progressing multiple years in a franchise. Like, hopefully they get this right, because it's so annoying. Like, in a franchise mode, you have a player at quarterback, maybe you sign, I don't know, like a Cam Newton or something. He's 35 years old, he wins the MVP, he wins the Super Bowl, but he regresses in the offseason to like a 71, 70 overall, and a team cuts him, and he's now a free agent and doesn't ever play again. So you're telling me a player, just because he's 35 years of age, wins the MVP, good enough to win a Super Bowl, but in an offseason, he gets cut because he is just 35, and that automatically means he loses overall? Like, that's so dumb. So hopefully they get this right, and this is something that should have always been in the game. And, yep, last and not least, the 4th freaking update, playoff bracket. A visual playoff bracket will be added into the game that reflects the new wildcard format, allowing users to see the full playoff picture. As always, thank you for your passion and feedback for Madden NFL. Things on this list might change. Hopefully not. Hopefully they add some stuff. Hopefully they don't take away any of this. Like, it shouldn't take 3 goddamn months to make a freaking playoff bracket. Now, this is where I'm gonna roast a little bit, because you're a billion-dollar company. In the next probably 3 or 4 days, I'm gonna come out with a video on why I think Madden 21 is the worst Madden maybe ever, for all kinds of different reasons. For franchise, for even their ultimate team that I don't even play anymore, from like the communication from their team, it's been an absolute travesty of a year. But I didn't even think about the fact there's a brand new, you might not know this, I'm sure a lot of you do, but some of you might not, there's a brand new playoff format this year. There's an extra wild card team. There might even be an additional, like, maybe 2 or 3 extra wild card teams. Like, the playoff format's completely changed, kind of. Like, there's only 1 team at the bye now. But in the game that is supposed to be an NFL simulation, they don't have the freaking playoff format correct. Like, they have the old playoff format. Like, that just seems like that should be common sense, that if your game is an NFL simulation, the least you can do is have the NFL playoff format correct in your game. All you literally had to do was add an extra wildcard team and change the buys. Like, and it's gonna take them 3 months to do that, when, like, they knew this was a thing, like, back in the summer. Like, all you had, like, it just, like, yes, you're glad that they're doing this, and it's a step in the right direction, but at the same time, You're a $1 billion company, dog. Like, what are we doing? Now, last thing before we get out of here, because I'm just going to turn it into a freaking complainer. This is the stuff that we still can expect, and then hopefully the next 2 or 3 updates, which will eventually happen probably by Madden 22. But this is what they said when they came out and said, hey, we messed up. We'll do some post-launch updates for Madden 21 franchise. So the stuff we can still expect throughout the year, but not coming next week, unfortunately, is we saw the tuning. Commissioner tools, so that we can get a lot more like tools as commissioner, controlling what your people in your online franchise do. We're still not getting that yet. AI personnel management, the AI will make better team management decisions in the draft, free agency, and trades. We're still not getting that yet, but that's something we've been looking for a long time. Playoff and Super Bowl presentation, like we're getting a new playoff bracket, but like the Super Bowl presentation's been the same the past 5 years, frame per frame. It hasn't changed yet, and hopefully will soon, but it's not coming next week. Trade logic's not changed yet, but should come soon. We saw the X Factor Superstar ability customizations coming next week, or whenever it comes, hopefully by next week. The career stats is coming next week. Retirement UI, better insight into retirements each season to allow players to react and manage. The trade logic also eventually, and then playoff update. There's the playoff bracket. But it just seems like, man, like, why can't this be done in 3 weeks? What have you been doing for 3 months? Like, I mean, genuinely, what have you been doing for 3 months for $1 billion company with the resources they have and the staff they have? How has this not been done in 3 months? Like, this isn't even a lot. Like, what do you do every day? Eat corn?